Hey everybody, on the show today I have something special. I have the creator of this game on the show today. And we're going to talk about the new expansion that's available for this game now, and we're going to talk about his creation process. But this is a fantastic game. We really liked it. We reviewed it. Chris is on the show today to talk about Doomlings. That interview starts now. Hey Chris, how are you?
Hey Mike, I'm good. Thanks for having me on.
We've been talking back and forth, and Jess over at Doomlings has been very, very kind. I just gave away the reason why you're on the show. You have a game called Doomlings, and
yeah,
I have my copy right here with a very nice rule book. This game is super easy to play, and it's so much fun. Sean and I and a lot of our friends have played it multiple times, and we're bringing it with us for a game night this weekend. Why don't you tell me about Doomlings?
Yeah, it is a delightful card game for the end of the world. Basically, what you're doing is you are trying to score the most points before the world ends. And the way that you score points is by playing traits. So these are traits that would theoretically help you survive the end of the world. Each of them have a point value on them. They have an effect that you play when you play the card. And you are playing them over rounds that in our game are called ages. And each age has a unique rule or effect, and it applies only for that round. So you finish a round, you start a new one, and it's a completely different rule or effect to play with. And mixed in with these ages are catastrophes. And essentially after 3 catastrophes, the world ends, the game's over, everybody counts up their points, and you see who won.
I have to tell you, it is a super easy game to play. It's a great introductory game to folks who may not have played games before, or those who are probably on the Monopoly ilk. You know, it's a different type of game. It's very, very easy to play. I love the artwork. I think it's great. And then included with your expansions and things like that, you get these holographic cards too, which are really cool. You guys actually have you have several expansions out, but you have a new one called the Legend of Enderas.
Yeah.
That is available now. What does this add to the base game?
It's funny because when we originally launched the game, we launched it as a Kickstarter. And when we were developing the Kickstarter, we knew that we wanted to include expansions as part of it. And so we were like, what are people going to want when we launch this thing? And so we thought about dinosaurs, robots, and wizards fantasy. Like these are,
of course,
these are 3 buckets that a lot of people really like. And so we came up with Dinolings, Mythlings, and Techlings. That's one of the advantages of the brand is you could swap out the Doom and swap in something else. And now you've got some Doomlings, right?
There you go.
So Dinolings, Mythlings, and Techlings, we included that as part of our original Kickstarter. And over the years, as we've come out with new expansions, we've just had people that are like, guys, I love dinosaurs, robots, and wizards. Like, I want more. And so finally, we revisited that set, and it came out with this new expansion. So thematically, you're going to see a lot of those characters that you would kind of expect. A lot of fun dinosaurs. So the Dinolings are there's a lot of discard play involved with the Dinolings. So there's a lot of digging through the discard pile to find a card that someone else got rid of. There's also a lot of cards just going into the discard pile. So it's a lot surrounding that. We have a lot of cards in the collection that are sort of high point value. And so as a result, they're at risk of going extinct from your trait pile. They'll just become targets naturally, right? Your opponents are going to want those high point value cards. We have Techlings in the collection. With Techlings, we have this attachment ability, which allows you to attach traits to other traits. And then those traits get modified in some way. It might modify their point value. So you might have a negative face value trait in your trait pile. You attach a Techling to it, and it might turn it into a 1-point card or a 2-point card. So very advantageous in that way. Mythlings are going to have a lot of effects that allow you to play out of turn. And specifically with Mythlings this time around, we have a new layer that we've added onto it called spells. And the spells have a lot to do with, instead of simply discarding a card, whether it's at the end of your turn or as a result of some other action, there's an effect that is tied to that discard. It might be, instead of discarding, you're actually giving this card to someone else. So it gets pretty wacky. 2 other expansions that are in the set. So what we do with this is we call it a variety expansion, right? It's essentially a variety pack of five expansions that are rolled into one kind of big expansion. The 4th one is Fuselings. So Fuselings are basically a mishmash of all 3 of what we call clades. So they're kind of mini expansions, but we also refer to them as clades. They combine the art and also the mechanics of those sets. So you're going to see some cards that let you play a turn, but also attached to other cards, for instance. And that card might be like a robot dragon or something, something fun like that. And the last one that we have, which really changes how you play Doomlings, is called the Treasures expansion. And with this one, you're essentially drawing a new card every round, and it has a special ability on it that lets you, for instance, play 2 cards on your turn instead of just 1. Or it might let you preview the next couple of ages. And there are different types of effects that are associated with these treasures. So these rush effects, they're cool because they allow you to do something before your turn even starts. So it just adds a little bit to the chaos there. Another one is Echo, which essentially allows you to play another card of the same color. So if you've got 2 green cards in your hand, you could play both of those. So there's 3 other subsets like that. So that's a really fun expansion. And then the last thing I'll say about treasures is, on all of our trait cards, we have flavor, and typically on trait cards, it's just a really quick joke. And I'll write a lot of them. Our primary artist, Justice, and creator, writes a lot of them. We got some other folks on the team that write them as well. But what was fun about treasures for us is we're all storytellers on the team, and I think we all kind of viewed this game, this brand, as something more than just a game. There's a lot of story, a lot of lore potential in the universe that we're working in. So trait cards, like I said, quick joke, but we dedicated much more space on these cards to the story. So each one of these has a little short story on them to enjoy while you're waiting for your opponent to take their turn, or
well, and the great thing about these cards, you just kind of throw them into the deck.
Is it?
It's not super complex. As you mentioned with the treasure stuff, that adds an additional mechanic to it that changes gameplay. Now, are those treasure cards permanents for you, or are they used up when you use them?
They're used up when you use them. Yeah. So basically you can use them during your turn, and then they go into what we call a coffer pile, which is essentially the discard pile for the treasures. Use them once, they're gone. You can have up to 2 at any given time.
No good. And that works. Yep. So if anyone has not seen Doomlings, you haven't been on Facebook in a very long time. Doomlings, prolific marketing. It's amazing what you guys are able to do and where I find it. I mean, now it's in Target. It's in a lot of the big box stores. You can find it everywhere. It's moved its way into retail where it's almost synonymous with card games now. When you developed this game, how did you expect it to go?
Honestly, we were just expecting to make something that we could play with our friends. That's all we really expected. I think at a certain point before the Kickstarter, there was a lot of excitement built up, and I think that's when it started to become like, maybe just based on how much excitement there is for this launch, like maybe this could be something. But at the end of the day, we just wanted to make something that we could play with our parents and people that don't usually play games, something that's accessible, but something that if you really got into the meat of it, you could really have a whole game night out of it. So.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Again, we've probably played it 10 or 15 times now. And again, it's coming up with it this weekend for a gaming weekend. It's great because it can be as involved as you want it to be. And I think some of these expansions kind of add to that involvement, really needing to watch what other people are doing. It can be a infuriating little game because when people are messing with you, it's hysterical. The artwork is fantastic.
We just had a launch live stream for Legends of Enderas last week. I'm known to be pretty competitive when we play the game. And as a result, I typically become a target. And if you go back and watch this live stream, it's really incredible because everybody's just going after me. And by the end of the game, you see scores that are like, 32 to 27 to 24. And then Chris is in last place with 7 points.
Yeah, it's definitely worked out that way for me too.
You feel it. It hurts.
It does hurt. It really does. Well, and I end up being the target because I have the game channel. So typically when we're playing, I'm filming to go ahead and for us to do a review. And so people are just, unconscionably evil to me.
Yeah.
They want to make sure the host of the show and probably the host of the game night is going to lose. So
yeah. You all see me as so much of a threat. I must be such a great player. Even though I'm losing this round, I have won the war of living in your head rent free.
Yeah. If anyone here is looking to get Doomlings, it's doomlings.com, and I will link to the live stream that you were mentioning. And if anyone who's watching wants to comment down below, I will potentially pick your name to send you a copy of this game for yourself so you can play it. I need to get a copy of this expansion. It sounds like a lot of fun.
Yes.
And that is available now, correct?
Available now. Yep.
Absolutely. I'll have, as soon as you go to doomlings.com, because I'm looking at it right here, it has a big link to the new expansion. So you too can be a Doomling and have a lot of fun. But Chris, I love the game. Thank you so much for coming on and talking to me about it. And I can't wait to see what you create next.
Mike, thanks for having me out. It was such a pleasure talking to you.
Absolutely. The pleasure's all mine.